Well, hello everyone and happy Monday. It is digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to today's shorter version of Before the Four, wherever you're watching Before the Four today. Thank you so much for watching and spending a bit of your Monday afternoon here. Now, of course, starting things off, it is cold. And that's certainly no surprise to anyone, and this is only the beginning of the cold weather we'll be seeing this week. Earlier today, Madison County EMA officials held a press conference to talk about the winter weather preparations for the extreme cold we'll be seeing later on in the week. And 48 Savannah Sap will have more on those preparations coming up in our evening newscasts. And of course, yesterday, 48's Noah Cowell spoke with Madison County Commissioner Phil Vandiver on everything the county is doing to prepare for the winter weather. And take a listen.
Madison County Commissioners remember what happened last year all too well. What was just expected as a couple inches of snow turned into ice sticking on the roads, and everyone in North Alabama was left in a standstill for days. Now, only time will tell to see if we do have a wintry mix in the next week, but a county leader says that they will be more prepared if a winter storm does come. Madison County Commissioner Phil Vandiver says road crews now have an upgraded salt brine machine to get rid of the ice quicker, and this machine uses chemicals that work at lower temperatures, which was a key problem last year.
We're going to try to remove it as quick as we can this time and just see where we can go and what we can do to get it better. We just can't afford all the tools that some states have to remove the snow and ice. It just would not make financial sense for Madison County to spend that kind of money to sit it out in a shed and be used once or twice a year.
Vandiver tells me that the county is prepared with 3 salt brine trucks and 4 snowplows, and they would treat 200 miles of roads in District 4 alone if it comes to that.
Keep most of our roads open for the citizens to be able to travel on. That's what our goal is. Now, Mother Nature can take that and turn that around in a heartbeat, but we're going to do the best we can and try to keep the roads open the best that we can for the equipment we have.
When people aren't on the roads, Huntsville Utilities urges people to winterize their homes, which includes only consuming the energy you need, insulating exposed pipes, and keeping your thermostat at or around 68 degrees.
As always, make sure that you've checked your filters, clean filters, replace them in your HVAC units to make sure that they're running at optimum energy efficiency. Make sure that you've had them serviced as well. Additionally, turn those fans counterclockwise to help move that warm air throughout your home.
As winds continue to climb, possibilities of power outages increase, but Whitley says that Huntsville Utilities is prepared and will have crews on standby. Reporting in Huntsville, Noah Cowell, 48 News on your side.
Well, thank you, Noah. And with the cold weather picking up across the state, it is incredibly important to remember to be safe out there. Simon Schuessler with WSFA recently spoke with Dr. Wes Stubblefield with the Alabama Department of Public Health on how to protect yourself against hypothermia. And take a listen.
The cold is picking up across Alabama, and so are the dangers of being outside. Vulnerability to the freezing temperatures varies based on age.
You think about underlying risk factors for individuals who may have difficulty with cold exposure. Those would be things like younger children, older adults.
One of the biggest threats this time of year, especially if you work outdoors, isn't an illness, it's hypothermia, which is when your body reaches a temperature of less than 95 degrees.
There are certain things that can make that worse, and that's being wet and when the wind is blowing. So those are very important factors as well. And then also, people that use alcohol, because the alcohol can worsen hypothermia.
According to the CDC, key warning signs of hypothermia include drowsiness, confusion, slurred speech, and memory loss. If you see someone showing symptoms, you're encouraged to get them into a warm room, remove wet clothes, and warm the center of the person's body while waiting for proper medical attention. Also, be aware of anyone you know that may not have proper heating in their home.
And we just recommend that you go and check on them. Those people are particularly vulnerable, not only because of their age, but because of their limited incomes.
Make sure to wear boots, gloves, and multiple layers of clothes to protect yourself. Simon Schuessler, WSFA 12 News.
Thank you, Simon. Certainly good to know, especially throughout this week. And also make sure to tune in to the first alert forecast from 48 Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for the latest forecast. You are certainly not going to want to miss that. But now, coming up after the break, we'll talk about the start of a new era for Alabama A&M football, a murder case in Huntsville that remains unsolved 2 years later, and a Christmas tree-eating goat. Sounds pretty cool to me. It's all ahead. I'll see you all in 1 minute. Well, hello and welcome back to Before the Four. Well, it's a new era for Alabama A&M football. Earlier today, newly hired head coach Sam Shade spoke in a press conference to address the Bulldog family for the very first time. Shade is the 22nd head football coach in program history. He recently served as the head coach for Miles College, where he turned a 1-9 program into a 10-win team. He was introduced today on campus by University President Daniel K. Wims and Athletic Director Paul A. Bryant. We wish Coach Shade the best of luck, and you can watch the full press conference on our website, our Facebook, or our YouTube channel right now. But now here's a story in Huntsville where the murder case of Andrew Gilliam still remains unsolved 2 years later. And 48's Claudia Peppenhorst recently spoke with Gilliam's father, Jeff, who spoke out for the first time since his son's murder. Claudia with the story.
He had space fever, and that was his dream.
At only 27 years old, Andrew Gilliam had already accomplished his childhood dream, becoming a rocket engineer. Gilliam assisted projects at the NASA Marshall Space Flight Center and even had a hand with the Artemis 1 launch back in 2022. But on January 4th, 2023, his life was tragically cut short. At 3 a.m., shots rang out at the Sun Lake at Edgewater apartment. Multiple bullets struck the building. One went through Gilliam's window and entered his bedroom. Gilliam was struck by that bullet and later died at the hospital.
It's hard to believe 2 years have passed. Of course, for us, and any parent that's lost a child, to us, it's like it was yesterday.
There have been no arrests in this case. Police believe Gilliam was not the target of this attack. Jeff Gilliam says on this anniversary, the family is hoping for answers.
It won't satisfy everything, but it will help provide closure. And our fear is that this person goes and does this to another family.
Gilliam's uncle, Vic Hartman, says there is something you can do to help.
But if somebody in your viewing audience knows something about this random act of violence, if they could just provide information that would lead to the arrest of Andrew's killer, they can collect $23,000.
Now, all the family can do is wait and hope that someone comes forward with information. Jeff Gilliam says there is one thing that provides comfort during this time of grief.
We know where he's at. We know that he accepted Jesus Christ as his Savior when he was younger, and so we know where he's at. And that kind of brings comfort when the grief, the heartache kind of hits. We know where he's at, and we know that one day we'll be with him.
Well, thank you, Claudia. And now that the Christmas season is over, you may be wondering what to do with that tree. Well, take a look at this idea. Farms in Michigan are accepting old Christmas trees to feed to goats. Yes, you heard that right, goats. And farm owners say the goats love it. Ken Kolker reports.
In Grand Rapids, you could take the discarded evergreens for free to the typical drop-off site like Riverside Park, or drag them to the curb for pickup, but that'll cost you. or perhaps the option that could be considered the greatest of all time, the goat. Do you have a favorite? Is there like a goat among goats?
That guy.
Greatest of all time?
That's fancy. What's up, buddy?
Fields Farm in Comstock Park is accepting tasty Tannenbaums to feed to its goats, whose 4 stomachs allow them to digest the prickly pines. It's the 4th year the farm on Booth Avenue has accepted trees. They'll take them as long as they are stripped of decorations, including tinsel. Their 8 goats consume a tree a day, so they'll last a while.
We probably had 150 trees come in last year, and that's more than they can eat.
As the owner of a tree service,
By the end of the day, it'll be nothing but just sticks.
Brett Fields mulches up the leftovers.
It's a treat for them, and the other cool thing is it's actually beneficial where it's a natural dewormer, so it's good for them, and they love it. It's great, and it helps the community, so it's convenient, and of course there's other locations, but it's just an option. What do you think, Billy? What do you think?
Super cool story there. I saw that story earlier and I was like, this story is so goated. I got to put this in the show. Awesome story there. And I see we have a couple Facebook comments today. We have one from Veronica Lopez. She said, hey, Huntsville, it's very cold. It certainly is. I hope everyone is staying warm. Veronica, I hope you are staying warm. And we also have Bailey Berry. She is watching from Decatur. Some flurries here. And that's right, there were some flurries when I was coming into the station earlier today as well. But now let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. The latest on the telecommunication lines that fell earlier today along Governor's Drive in Huntsville. A look at all the people in Alabama with ties to the January 6th Capitol riot 4 years later. And finally, tips on how you can further manage your finances in the new year. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. And I think it's about that time. It is time, of course, for Facebook fun. That is right. Our 48 Facebook question of the day. What's a fictional place from a movie, TV show, or book that you wish was real? And let's see what you all had to say. Nathan said the chocolate factory from Willy Wonka. Nathan, you and me both. You and me both. I don't know. I would have to go to the gym a lot more often if that place was real, though. Let's just say that. Nathan, thank you so much for commenting. Tila said Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Tila, I'm curious to know what house you would be in. Are you a Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, or Slytherin? That is what I want to know. But yes, me and you both. That is an awesome one. Steven said Gilligan's Island. Especially here in the month of January, I definitely wish that place was a real place. That is for sure. And then Belinda said Narnia. Super cool. Me and Aslan, we would be hanging out on the daily if that place was real. That is for sure. Belinda, thank you so much for commenting. And then Renee Marie said the Krusty Krab. An absolutely awesome comment there. We'll be eating some Krabby Patties, and I hear those things are really, really good. I want to try them, that is for sure. And checking comments here, Judith said chilly, cloudy. Yes, it is certainly very chilly and cloudy, without a doubt. Well, that is just about all she wrote for today's Before the Four, but I want to thank you all for sticking around and spending a little bit of your Monday afternoon here watching Before the Four. I hope you all stay safe on the roads if you're traveling tonight, and certainly stay warm. Keep those blankets on hand, bundle up if you're going out. That is for sure. But that is it for today. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's evening newscast. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.